Tonight, an alarming discovery out of a Baltimore City high school where hundreds of students are failing.
As Project Baltimore's Chris Papps explains, we found a student who's passed 3 classes in 4 years and is ranked near the top half of his class.
We're not letting none of this get the best of us. All right? Be strong, son. We got this.
He's stressed, and I am too. Like, I told him I probably would start crying. Like, my son is, I don't know what to do for him.
This coming June is when Tiffany France thought her son would receive his diploma.
And I'm just trying to fight. He like, Mom, what was all this for? What did I do this for? Like, don't he get a chance? Do he get a chance?
But after 4 years of high school, this mom just learned her 17-year-old has to start over. He's been moved back to 9th grade.
Why would he do 3 more years in school? He didn't fail. The school failed him. The school failed at their job. They failed. They failed. That's the problem here. They failed. They failed. He didn't deserve that.
France's son attends Augusta Fells Savage Institute of Visual Arts in West Baltimore. His transcripts show in 4 years, he has passed just 3 classes, earning 2.5 credits, which places him in 9th grade. But France says she didn't know that until February. She has 3 children and works 3 jobs. She thought her oldest son was doing well because even though he failed most of his classes, he was being promoted. His transcripts show he failed Spanish 1 and Algebra 1, but was promoted to Spanish 2 and Algebra 2. He also failed English 2, but was passed on to English 3.
I'm just assuming that if you are passing, that you have the proper things, to go to the next grade. And, the right grades, you have the right credits.
As we dig deeper into her son's records, we can see in his first 3 years at Augusta Fells, he failed 22 classes and was late or absent 272 times. But in those 3 years, only 1 teacher requested a parent conference, which France says never happened. No one from the school told this mother her son was failing and not going to class.
Yeah.
France's son, in his 4 years at Augusta Fells, earned a grade point average of 0.13. He only passed 3 classes, but his transcripts show his class rank is 62 out of 120. This means nearly half of his classmates, 58 of them, have a GPA of 0.13 or lower.
He's a good kid. Like, he didn't deserve that. Where is the mentors? Where is the help for him? I hate that this is happening to my child.
In your opinion, did the school system fail this child?
Absolutely.
This city school administrator who works inside North Avenue asked not to be identified for fear of retaliation.
That school community failed this student.
This administrator told Fox 45 News city schools failed because it has protocols and interventions set up to help students who are falling behind or have low attendance. In France's son's case, they didn't happen.
I get angry. There's nothing but frustration. We see on the news the crime that occurs, the murders, the shootings. We know that there are high levels of poverty in Baltimore. Things like this are adding to that.
These children are why I do this work.
Dr. Sonia Santelises was school CEO 4 years ago when France's son was a freshman, but she will not interview with Fox 45 News. Instead, we received this 2-page statement, which explains what should happen when a student is chronically absent or failing. The district says students received a letter about their academic status this past summer, and records can be accessed through the campus portal. When a student is absent, an automated call is placed to the number on file. The statement also said the school conducted recent home visits and the student's parent visited the school. But France says none of that happened. What this statement does not address is why Francis' son was promoted despite failing classes. It doesn't discuss his class rank or the 58 other students with a GPA of 0.13 or lower. But it does say North Avenue is reviewing actions that impacted student outcomes at the school prior to this year.
It took a lot for me to just build the courage to do this.
If you were to talk to this mom, what would you say to her?
You know, I didn't have a hand on this student, but I work for city schools, so he is one of my kids. I would hug her and I would apologize profusely.
And he feels embarrassed, he feels like a failure. And I'm like, you can't feel like that. And you have to be strong. And you gotta keep fighting. You know, life is about fighting. Things happen, but you gotta keep fighting. And he's willing, he's trying, but who would he turn to when the people that's supposed to help him is not? Who do he turn to?
France has pulled her son out of Augusta Fells. He is now enrolled in an accelerated school program at another high school in West Baltimore. She is told if he works hard, he could graduate by 2023. And if you would like to read City School's entire two-page statement, we have posted it on our website, foxbaltimore.com. I'm Chris Pabst, and this is Project Baltimore.
We got to be better. See, that story still pisses me off. Like, that story really pissed me off. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Welcome to On the Shoulders of Giants. I am Joseph Ward. This is On the Shoulders Live, where, you know, I spend my Saturdays going live with you because, for one, I love you all, but making sure we get the information out to the people that need to be got out, and we have some fun while doing it. But I also like to use this time to highlight people in our community who are doing things to make sure that we can move forward, that we can progress, that we can be better, that we can actually have a real future, not just talk about having a future, not the theoretical future, but the actual future that we can actually have. So people who are pouring into our community and our community members. And when we talk about any and everything that support the Black, or that affects the Black community, rather. So we talk about those things. So if this is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you to all of my returning viewers. Thank y'all for being in the building, and appreciate everybody who showed up to the live stream last night where we talked about Charlie Kirk, because we had to go ahead and put that on the table. I said what I said. I don't need to say nothing no more. So that is out. Make sure you go check that out, and check out yesterday's Friday breakdown, me, Professor Carlton Jones, and Patrick Irvin, where we broke down Heather McDonald, who was another think tank racist who is using her platform to spew more racist rhetoric that could be harmful to Black people. And, you know, Heather out here making up Black history. So go, make sure you go check those out. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and share. Because if you don't hit that like button, then you might support white people. You know, we gotta make sure we support us, though. Nemesis X, man, I appreciate you as always being in the building. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We got a good show today. As I told y'all about 2-3 weeks ago, got Miss Kristen Jackson in the building, and Miss Kristen Jackson is the brainchild and one of the main engines behind the Footprints Learning and Leadership Academy, which is located in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we're talking about a woman who partnered with my man Patrick Irvin, and they came together to create a learning environment for, of course, young Black kids, but learning environment for children in their area in Charlotte, North Carolina, where the kids can actually be empowered and progress, and the parents will be involved as well. And that's called the Footprints Learning and Leadership Academy. A little background information on Miss Kristen. So Miss Kristen Jackson is a former social worker with a specialty in adoption, foster care, family engagement, and social and emotional learning. And we're going to learn more about that. She's a mother of 3 children, 2 of who are adopted. She also runs a homeschool co-op in Charlotte, which is the Footprints Learning and Leadership Academy. It is focused on literacy for children of all ages. She still advocates for and actively teaches social and emotional learning in various programs throughout the city of Charlotte. She graduated from Virginia Tech University with a degree in psychology, and she has dedicated her time to making sure that the future, our future, is being educated properly. So without further ado, put y'all hands together, stand up, and a round of applause for Miss Kristen Jackson. How you doing, Miss
Hi,
Kristen?
I'm good. How are you today?
I am doing good. Welcome to On the Shoulders of Giants. Happy to have you here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, ma'am. And you are a friend of us, a
Mhm.
friend of the show, a friend of the platform. So as always, if there's anything that we can do to help, anything that you need help with, of course, we are here. And one of the things is make sure that we help get the word out about the Footprints Learning and Leadership Academy. So how's your Saturday going?
It's going great so far. Going great. We just started back to school last week on the 9th. So this is my first weekend after school started. So I'm enjoying it.
Good, 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 good. So we started off with the video that we started off with, and of
Yeah.
course, that helps to bridge the conversation. So as a mother, because I do want to start there. As a mother and the educator, like, what are your thoughts after seeing that video, seeing the mother go through that, express her emotions, just talk about the total situation? What are your thoughts?
Um, I have more questions than anything.
Right,
Accountability and responsibility. Those are two words that I see lacking in our community when it comes to education, and it's causing a lot of problems. And this is the fruit of it.
mhm,
Where the mom had lots of questions and good questions. How was he passing? How was she not notified? Um, I see what the school said they did. Where are the records showing what they did? Where's the follow up showing what they did? Where's the case management? Where's the guidance counselor? Where's the credit recovery? Where's the summer school? Where's anything?
right,
And I get that she's working 3 jobs. So where's the school's flexibility on holding parent meetings and offering support on the weekends, during the morning, afternoons, whatever it takes, right? And then for the student, he knew he didn't pass but 3 classes. He knew that he wasn't going to school and he was missing school for days at a time. I mean, good Lord, there's 365 days in a year. And how many days was he late and tardy? I think it said something in the 200s.
right, right.
School, that's legally, kids are only required to be in school for 180 days. So I just had a lot of questions. I'm not surprised he failed, to be honest with you.
Right.
I'm just surprised that it took to his senior year to just see how poorly the school system, the parent, and the child were working as a team.
Yeah, yeah. Like that's a lot. Like Rob B said, that's the whole school year. Like,
That's why
you
I'm trying to
basically,
do the math. I was like, something's not
yeah,
mathing.
yeah, you basically missed the whole school year. Like, what's going on? But I think, well, there's no, I think that we know that there has been a total failure of the American educational system, especially when it comes to young Black children. A
Hmm.
total failure in how the children are educated, what they're educated on, the involvement of the community, the parent, the student themselves, the administrators. All these things are happening, and it's affecting the children, because even when I'm interacting with young children, I can see that their ability to communicate is severely impacted, and I know you see it all the time.
Hmm.
So that's why we got to support what you do. So I
Thank you.
already put it in the chat. Homeschooling Footprints. Excuse me. Footprints Learning and Leadership Academy. Homeschoolingfootprints.com is the website. Make sure you go check out the website so you can support Miss Kristen and everything that they have going on. And remember, it's a team. And correct me if I'm wrong. The team is yourself, Patrick, and Christopher.
Yes. We've
Okay.
grown since then, though. We've got to update. We've grown. So just a little bit of a backstory. I started schooling mom to just my middle son. He had some health issues. We were in a private Christian school, and it just was not working out with him getting what he needed academically and emotionally for the
Mhm.
support. And so I had an educational psychologist suggest to me that we homeschool since I was basically doing school at home anyway. After I laughed and told her, yeah, Black people don't do that, I started researching and I
Yeah.
started finding more and more of us, especially here in Charlotte, that actually we did homeschool.
Mhm.
Traditional schools, private, charter, and public just weren't cutting it. And families were, and this was before COVID, just had enough. And so they were, pulling their kids out and providing their own children with what they felt. So I literally started at my kitchen table. My very first student actually was Mr. Patrick's youngest son.
Yeah.
And then through word of mouth, we just grew to the point now where we've got over 50 kids. We're in a church building right now, which we've already outgrown. With all the things that are going on with the current government, with the educational department being ransacked, with all of the new legislation and these executive orders that he's pushing out every single day. Not to mention Charlotte, Mecklenburg school system. We've had, I want to say, 6 superintendents in the 12 years or something like that. It's
Mhm.
just ridiculous. And so there was a need. And in the spaces that we were in, when it came to homeschooling, yes, there were a lot of us collectively, but we weren't all together in one space. We
Right.
were very spread out. And so I just got tired of being tolerated and I got tired of being asked at a table. And I just the older I've gotten, the more I'm just like, you know what, this is ridiculous. So we decided to create our own table and, be in spaces where we accept and understand how special we are as a people. And we celebrate that. And we
Right.
really look to we've taken it back. It used to be that your community supported your children. It was a
Yes.
community effort, and we've got to get back to that. And so that is something that we actually work very hard. I mean, our one of the things that you'll see on our website, and we practice what we preach is they're our children, it's our community, it's our culture. It has to be our concern. So,
Yes.
and that's I think what makes us different. I think that's what
Good.
makes us different.
Good. And see, Okira starting stuff. He said she passed. See, I was gonna be petty. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna be petty because Okira, you beat me to it. Because I was about to say, and you didn't have to ask for donations. Donations.
No,
Donations.
yeah, we're a nonprofit, and we literally at my kitchen table. I do have to give my husband some credit because there were times I couldn't afford, through what I was making through the school, and he really heavily supported us financially for a very long time. So, thank you to him for that. But when it comes to Umar, that's a question I've had for a very long time. Like, how did little old me, starting at my kitchen table with one student other than my son, just through word of mouth and sheer, determination, get a school up and running with no notoriety, no, donation funds, anything. And he's had all of these years, all of this time, all of this money, all the support, and he has not taught a lesson. That I
Well,
don't understand it.
but see, the main thing on that though is that's the community's fault. That ain't him. That's the community because
Mhm.
it's you should we should be supporting those who are actually doing things, and that's one of the main things. Because I have my Umar jokes, and I'm not gonna stop them, but I am being realistic, and that's the community's fault because the community should seek you out. Just like you did your research to find out that people were doing homeschooling, we should be seeking people like yourself out, but also people like myself and those other people who have platforms, who have a voice, should be seeking you out to put you on to put you on these platforms and help push you out so others can know about you. And that's a communal thing. So the same way like the community failed that young man in the video, the community
Mhm.
is failing our educators. The community is failing those schools, our own schools. The community is failing them. that's what it is. And it's a light that's more so being shined on the community than him. But that's why we thank you for what you're doing. Like you say, you started with one student, started in your kitchen table, and you kept progressing. So please, like, take us a little more through that. Like, what was that process like, going from a kitchen table to a building? How did that happen?
Word of mouth, honestly. There is a website or a Facebook group that I joined, African American Homeschoolers of Charlotte, and I just started posting. We started first as just a literacy program. I'm a big reader. I love to read and write. I love to teach reading and writing, public speaking, debating, all that kind of good stuff. I started working with the YMCA, a local historically Black YMCA here in Charlotte, just doing a Friday program. Then I was approached to add on, to do my program there. So I did. And then COVID hit. And instead of quitting and just saying, we'll try again later, we went online. Again, thank you, Mr. Patrick, for that push. So when COVID came out, we went back to the they decided they were going to be renovating, and we had nowhere to go. Like, we literally had, I think, 2 weeks before we had to find somewhere. So it was always a dream of mine to have a house that we could do school in, go back again to have the old school. Learning was a lifelong thing, and it wasn't just in a building where kids felt like that's the only place they were ever supposed to learn or do research or critically think. So we were lucky enough to find a house. I rented it. And we've been there for the last few years. Last year, again, our numbers grew. When we first got the house, I had 17 kids and thought, oh, we'll be here for years. The very next year, we had 34 kids. The next year, we had 40-some kids. This year, we have 50. So there's a church right across the street that we were lucky enough to rent some space from. But we already have outgrown this space. I've got families, because we specialize with neurodivergent kids as well. So we have kids that have ADHD, have learning disabilities, emotional issues, as the school likes to label our kids. They're on the spectrum. So we take our children that nobody else seems to want to support and care and love and nurture. So with that's kind of how it progressed. It's been growing. And again, like the last 2 years, I haven't even mentioned us anywhere on any platform. It's all been word of mouth. The kids talk about with their friends about what they're learning in school, what they're reading, what they're doing. The parents talk about their kids, the projects, the camping trips, the field trips that we go on, the academic rigor we demand, the parent involvement that we expect, and from that we've just grown.
No, that's amazing. And shout out to the kids, but shout out to yourself, your staff, and everybody who's pouring into those children, because that's what making those children continue to talk about the academy and talk about everything that you all are doing. Kira, I know you were just joking. I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna be bagging on. I know you were just joking. It's all good. Misinformed Emotion says, I'm a teacher that would love to retire and teach remotely outside of these systems. Y'all, hey, look, homeschooling. This is the website. Homeschoolingfootprints.com is the website. Make sure you go check out the website and get in contact with them. Okay, make sure you do that. Patrick in the building. He talking about, nah, you're not LMAO. He's a joke. He talking about Umar. Talking about Okira and Umar. And thank you to Professor Carl Tone Jones. He's in the building. Thank you for the $10 super chat. You were real, and I appreciate you, PC. Misinformed Emotion says, I didn't find Umar credible at all. He flip-flops all over the place 3 times. Donations, and turn around and so right. Right. But so you were able to overcome the obstacles. You were able to create basically what you had in your head. You was able to bring it to fruition. The system that you and Patrick and Christopher has created, it's beneficial to the children, because, as you say, the children themselves are bragging about it. The children themselves are telling other kids, hey, you might want to come be a part of this system. And without giving away your secret sauce, I don't want you to give away your sauce, but just kind of give us some examples of how you guys actually interact and reach the children to make them even enjoy what you're doing.
Absolutely. And I want to share the sauce because I want our kids to be immersed in it, honestly, because that's the only way our community is going to get where we should be.
Right.
So we start off with the most simple ask, and that's let's build confidence. Let's pour confidence into these children. A lot of kids are coming from traditional school systems that have punched holes in their shiny bucket. I like to speak in analogies. So the more you pour in them, it's just pouring out because they've got so many holes. So we start off recognizing that these children are not coming to us whole, that they've got damage, trauma, have had low expectations, feel bad, guilt, shame, are lazy. Let's be honest on that too. So we spend a lot of time just working on their social emotional health, making sure they understand that they're wanted, that they're safe, and that they're able. One thing that makes us different is our whole staff has some sort of counseling background. I was a foster care supervisor, adoption supervisor. I did therapy in Virginia. Mr. Patrick is getting his master's PhD in counseling. My mother, who teaches, has her master's degree in counseling. Our math teacher is a pastor who specializes in working with youth. We have a behavior. Our K-2 second grade teacher was a behavior specialist in our school system before he came to us. So we intentionally look for and build our community around people who understand the importance of our kids knowing who they are and feeling good about themselves and feeling good about their strengths as well as their weaknesses. So that's really it. I mean, it sounds so simple, but that's where we start off. And then it's the parents too. Making sure the parents understand, we have mandatory parent conferences. That means that you have to come or your kid can't stay here. Where we talk to the parents about grades, where we talk to the parents about expectation and educational goals. We talk to the parents about what they can do to be more involved. We're not a good fit for everybody because some families are not serious about their academics. And what we have figured out is when you've got families that are not serious and kids who are not serious, it spills over.
Right.
And so we really try to make sure that we are working with families that want their kids to learn and that they're going to engage with their children's education. Matter of fact, we're actually a private school as well because we had some parents that, for whatever reasons, did not feel comfortable just homeschooling. And so we started the private school side for them because, unfortunately, we have an educational system that makes people think that they're not educated enough to even teach their own children, which tells you a lot right there.
Right.
So for us, I think it's a combination of really truly caring about the kids and the families as a whole and recognizing what their needs are and doing our best as a community to meet those needs.
Right. No, that's excellent, but because you answered one of the questions that I was going to have. What happens if you have a child in the program, but the parents are not involved, the parents are not dedicated, the parents are really not doing what they're supposed to do. And basically you're saying that the kid can't stay, or not just like y'all throwing people out, but it's going to make it difficult for the child to stay in the program.
Yeah. So we've had a child, parents were MIA, but the child was extremely motivated. So that was a good fit because the child is going to come up, show up. And so as a community, we rallied around the child to provide rides, to provide school supplies, food when need be, whatever that child needed. But when you have a child that clearly does not want to be here, not doing schoolwork, not doing homework, coming to school with a bad, nasty attitude, and then you have a parent that does not want to meet to address those, because clearly the child needs something and we're not able to fulfill the need solely by ourselves. So it needs to be a group effort. I can't fight with both my hands tied behind my back. And if parents are not engaged, and that's exactly what's happening. So we really look at, where are the parents on their journey in the educational process? Do they understand the need? And when we say education, I don't mean just regurgitating information for a test, for the end of school test. We could care less about that. When I talk to any parent about our school, we're big on application. I don't care if you're reading at a 5th grade level if you understand at a second, because then you're just calling out words. I don't care if you can read a book about cars and how to put cars together, but when I show you a carburetor, you don't know what it is and you don't know how to fix it.
Right.
We need to focus more on application and how to find information on how to learn, because you're not always going to have a parent there or a teacher there or an adult there to spoon feed you information. So do you know where to go? Do you know how to find reliable resources? And then when you do that, what do you do with that information? Do you know how to communicate it effectively? And a lot of these kids, it's no, no, and no.
well, that's where the lack of literacy comes in. And yes, Dr. Y'all, you're right. Parents are crucial in their children's education, right? But that's where that lack of literacy comes in, because a lot of our youth are not able to accurately articulate what's going on with them. So they're missing out on the help that they could be receiving, because you're saying one thing, another thing is being interpreted, and everything that you need is being lost in the middle. And between the norm sayings and all this, no, we don't know what you're saying at all. But our children cannot read out loud. Our children aren't confident in reading. Our children lack comprehension skills, and that's a problem.
And I blame that too. Now, I come from a long line of educators. I was a black sheep because I went into social work only to end up in education, right?
Yeah.
I thought I got away. But school systems today, and it's not the teacher's fault, it is the board of the school board and the higher ups that are making these decisions when they haven't even been in the classroom for the last 10 plus years, seeing that our kids, their needs are different. They're not even reading full books. When COVID came out and parents were realizing, they had kids saying, well, this is what we do anyway. The only difference is our teacher is physically in the room, but they're lining us up in rows and we're on Chromebooks all day. And the lessons are coming through the screen anyway. So it really wasn't that new. These kids are not reading books. When my kids come, not only do we read the books, but we sit around and discuss the books. We discuss the vocabulary, we discuss the setting, the characters, the plot, the impact on the world that's today. Like, why are we reading Othello? This book was 400 years ago. Yeah, but look how Othello and Iago and Desdemona, we can name people today in society that this looks very familiar to. So it's relevant. We make connections with it, to themselves, to the world, to media. They understand the purpose of what they're reading and how it's going to impact them. It is sad how much our children are not being allowed to learn. And if they show interest in something, if they show a skill, they're not being encouraged to pursue it. They're not being encouraged to look for, what are you good in? Some kids are great expressing themselves through art. Some kids are great expressing themselves with writing. Why can't we allow projects to be a little bit of both, so both kids can win and feel great about themselves and show that they've mastered the knowledge?
Right. No, I have a big beef with education system. But I have a big beef with the education system, parents, and the community. Like, I want to fight all three of them. Just line them up. Let's fight. Because it's sad what's happening to our youth, and but because like the mother in the video, she didn't take any accountability for anything. That's your child, lady. Like, at the end of the day, that child's education is her responsibility until he's 8 or until he's out of her house. It's her. She's the main one that's responsible for that. And it's everybody's finger pointing. The teachers are pointing at the parents. The parents are pointing at the teachers and the parents pointing at the school board pointing back at them. And it's everybody is failing these kids. But like you said, I love what you said, because you answered one of my follow-up questions that I had, because it was going to be what happens if you have a student that's motivated, but the parents aren't. But you're saying we don't, as long as the student want to be here, we're gonna make sure the student is here. Okay. And I just want to make sure that is clear for the people, because
Yeah.
to make sure they don't misunderstand what you're saying.
Yeah. And we're nonprofit. So again, we're here. Sorry.
That's the government.
Yeah. We're here because at the end of the day, I need my kids to have people in the world that they can relate to, have conversations with, and find partners with that have not been brainwashed by the school system. They need to have free thinkers that they can see on the same level. These kids are coming. If you can't tell them exactly what to do, when to do, how to do, they don't do anything. I mean, we just implemented no phones for the whole entire day, not even at lunchtime anymore, because these kids can't speak to one another. They can't, like, they spend all the time showing each other TikTok videos on their phone and think that's communicating. It's not. That's so superficial. It's so detrimental to their thinking and their attention span. So we've just said, you know what? No phones. If you can't go from 10 to 3 days a week without a phone, that's a bigger issue that we need to address. That's a bigger issue.
Because I mean, before like 2000, let's say 5 or 6 or 7, whatever, I give it 2010. Before that, you had no choice but to go to school and not have a phone. It wasn't even a thought of, dang, I need to, if you want to communicate with somebody, if you couldn't, you just couldn't. But
right.
And so earlier you said you deal with, and because I want to connect the two. Earlier you talked about the social emotional aspect of it. And so when you take the phones away, how are you seeing that's affecting their social emotional state?
Oh, they hated it at first. It was a big, and so we just kind of have explained to them that the fact that they feel like they can't spend an hour communicating with each other, looking at each other, being in each other's presence without having a digital device, they need to look deeper into that for themselves. And we do talk to them and do study skills and executive functioning things and leadership things, development. And so we just tie it in, like the fact that you can look at your classmate and not make a human connection to them other than showing them TikTok videos. Let's look at all of the things you're missing because of that. Let's look at all of the things you don't know. Some of our kids have been together for 3 years, and all they know is, what favorite TikTok person they follow, or what their favorite Snapchat filter is, or, things like that. They don't really know one another. So we're giving you guys time to get to know each other and decide that you don't like each other, or that you do like each other, and know why and how, if you don't, to fix it. We also do a lot of projects together. We're very big in project-led learning, group projects, one-on-one. We've done, groups of 3, groups of 4, a whole big group of 12. We work on debates because, again, once they get out of school, you're going to have people that you don't like that are going to try you, as they like to say, that are going to, try to give them information that's incorrect, etc. And if they don't practice and know how to handle those kind of things now, they get tripped up at 18, and it's got a more of a consequence. So we try to deal with those things now, as well as part of their social emotional development.
And because that's leading into me asking about social emotional learning, because that is something that you highlight and something that you actually do with the kids. So for those of us who don't know, kind of give us a synopsis of what that is.
The easiest way to think about it is all of the things that make us who we are, besides the math, the English, the reading, the writing, etc. So it's the ability to self-regulate, it's the self-discipline, it's responsibility, it's the ability to lead and to follow, it's the ability to listen to others and to know how to relate to others, how to walk into a room and kind of read the room, how to feel comfortable with self. You know, being Mr. Patrick always talks about doing self-assessments, which, you know, I
Yes.
think a lot more people need to start doing actually. So it's just kind of teaching people to realize who they are and to be okay with that. Some people call it self-actualization. Um, that's a higher form of it,
Yeah.
but you know, even my kindergartens can understand, you know, teaching about empathy and sympathy and choices and consequences and
Okay.
you know, really just taking the time to understand who they are.
So you teaching them things that their parents didn't learn.
Yes. The parents can't give what they haven't received. So,
That's
you
what I'm getting
know,
at. Yes.
yeah,
Th-
and the expectation, well, that's not what school's for. Yes, yes, it is. The difference I think between now and 50 years ago when we were before integration, is that they got it from the community. So even if they weren't
Right.
getting it home, they did get the support at school. They got the support in their from their neighbor's mom, from their friend's mom, from churches, from synagogues,
Yes.
whoever.
Right.
That is all missing now because no one can talk
Right.
to somebody else's child without it being an issue. Grandma's not involved anymore. Kids aren't going, you know, to religious institutions anymore. And schools are saying it's not my problem. We're saying it is our problem. It is our concern because if these children don't have these skills, then they are the ones who suffer. And we're going to have yet another generation of
Right.
people who are socially, emotionally bankrupt.
Right. Right.
And then they're
Right.
going to pass that to their children.
And this comment that's on the screen adds to it. Excuse me. Douglas Freen said the coach, and I saw a
Hmm.
clip of him saying that, you know, he created the BlackBerry and none of his family used it because he saw the addictive nature of it. And so that further, and I'm going to use this word, retards the socialization process of our young children. So we have a lot of socially and mentally, emotionally, psychologically underdeveloped people who are physically developed, but in all the other areas are underdeveloped, but they're
Hmm.
older now, and so they're forced into this adult world. Even if they're a teenager, they're still forced into an adult world that they're not equipped for, around other
No.
adults who are underdeveloped. And no wonder our children are struggling because the adults, we haven't fixed ourselves. So if we haven't fixed
Mm-mm.
ourselves, how the hell are we gonna help the kids?
Exactly. And if we're honest with ourselves too, their community, yeah, their kids are addicted to their phones and stay on their phones all day. But let's look at what they're taking pictures of too. They're going to operas, they're going to plays, they're going on vacations around the world. So even though they're addicted to their phones too, they're experiencing more than just their phones. Our
That's
kids
it.
are experiencing just a mirror of what they are. You know,
Right.
they're not getting to experience new things.
Right.
So I think we need to look
Yes.
at that too. Like, yeah, the kids, other kids are addicted to their phones, but they have other things that they can bring with their
Yeah.
phones. Our kids don't.
Yes, and right, right, and that's the main difference is because the phones, if you structure it right, the phones can be used in conjunction with helping them in their learning process and their socialization process if you
Hmm.
once again structure it right. But it has to be intentional. It has to be a part of the process of them learning how to use technology and not let technology use them.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
so yeah, that's a big problem. That's just a
You
big
look
problem.
at their phones, they've got SAT and PSAT preps on
Yeah.
their Duolingo and everything. Our kids have Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You know, there's no balance. There's no balance.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes, yes.
yes. Oh,
So
absolutely. With the phones, the games, yes.
yeah, 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 definitely, definitely. So as a with your leadership academy, what has been some of the biggest challenges that you've faced from start to now? What are some of your biggest challenges, and how were you able to overcome those challenges?
For as far as like the school itself,
Yes, the school. What were some of the challenges that you faced for just the maturation of the school over time, or even staying open, or even keeping kids in? Like, what were some of those challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome them?
um, so space is our biggest issue. Like that's the one that's foremost on my mind right now. So that's probably the first one I'm going to think of. Just constantly looking and asking and trying to find spaces that are going to accommodate us and celebrate us. So making sure that again, we were in historically Black YMCA. We rented our own facility. Now we're in a church that we're not exactly happy in, but it's where we are. And so now looking for the next step to grow. So that's been our biggest issue, is just finding a facility that really is big enough to offer to accommodate what we need. Other issues are just getting before the right families and before the right people. A lot of co-ops for homeschool are more social, and we want it to be different. We want to offer social. We want our kids to socialize. We want our kids to become friends and do things together and the whole nine, but we also want them to learn. So it took a couple of years of weeding out the families that were really only here to socialize and to get their kids, a place to play and make friends, and to get to the families that they understood that we could do both. So that's been a challenge too. And then, just having the money we're nonprofit. So, I get fussed at a lot because I don't charge. We're less than most before school, not even before and after school, just before school care to get our children here. So going out, doing fundraisers, just trying to come up with the money, getting benefactors to scholarship a kid or, supported kids, registration fees to a beta club, national registration, or, we go camping at the end of every year because our kids need to get outside, get into nature. And a lot of them have never done that, get unplugged for at least a week. So getting people, to sponsor those kind of things. So that's been our biggest concern. But I'm going to quote that old movie, if you build it, they will come. And so that's what, that's what I rely on. I'm just going to keep building and people keep showing up. And so as we grow, hopefully our community will support us in that growth. So
Right. Oh, I asked that question for myself too, because I just started my Black History School, and I have like 3 consistent children because the parents bring them, but 3 consistent. But I'm trying to grow it and keep going. But now we're having fun. We're having hella fun. But just ask that question about growing because I want to make sure I grow my program as well, so we can get more people involved. But just keep going.
Yeah, one of the biggest things, like I said, when I first started out, was I was in the African American Homeschoolers of Charlotte. Those were the people that were doing the same things I was doing, had the same kind of thoughts and interests that I had. And so just kind of within that big group, just finding our own little niche, I guess, because you had some people that wanted to focus more on African studies. Then you had more people that were like, well, no, we live in Africa, we live in America, so we want to study more African American history. And then people that were global. So just kind of finding, the group of people that want to be where you want to be and are willing to explore other places too. And then once you start finding that core group of people, then everybody starts spreading out and just kind of letting other people know. Now, I will say we are open to anybody. Everybody is welcome to come to our program, but we know how it goes. While we're always expected to be in their spaces and be comfortable, they are not expected and are not comfortable in ours. And that's fine because we are unapologetically people of color, Africans. We've got Hispanic students here now. We've got children that are biracial. So we are unapologetically African American focused. Our perspective, no matter what we read, write, study, we're always going to look at it from that perspective. So just finding your tribe and just again asking them to talk about what you guys do. Right.
I'm gonna get back to this comment, but I do want to. Nemesis X is asking, is the next step a long-term land location?
I would love to. Yes, that would be ideal. Because we don't want to just have it be a school. We would love it to be a community resource where, therapists can come, African drummers can come, Parent education can happen. Kids can have, businesses out of the building. We want to have a space that is truly community oriented.
Okay, so, and I'm saying this for you for long term for the school and everything. I'm coming into an opportunity where, and I'm most likely gonna take advantage of it to go ahead and get a master's, and so I'll probably get an MSW.
Yay!
And then we could do some things, but even before then, but just making sure that I improve my skill sets to be more of an asset to you in the circle that we have going on.
You have to be lifelong learners. I mean, I just took a class. I became a literacy specialist a little bit ago, and now I'm taking classes on working with gifted writers. You have to model what you teach. So when the kids say, "Well, what are you reading?" I always have an answer. Well, are you in school? Yeah, I'm taking a class. So you wanna practice what you preach with the kids. That goes a long way too.
Yeah. Yes. No, it does, because they when they get to a certain point, they're getting tired of do as I say, not as I do, and because we have to be real examples if we want them to be better. So this comment is saying it's up to parents to limit screen time. It's up to parents to start being parents again, start acting like their older siblings, gentle parent. I don't know nothing about no gentle parenting. Like my friend's parents still got permission to beat me, and I'm in my 40s. So I don't know nothing about no gentle parenting. But yeah, I hate that, because that does affect you in your environment as a teacher. So how do you all combat that within the classroom? Because like I said, everybody don't come from the best household. So how do you create an understanding when the students get in there that, hey, you can act like you want to act at home, but when you in here, this is how we get down? How is that created?
No tolerance. I don't know. It's funny because some of the other teachers are like, well, the kids don't act like how they act for you, how they act for us. They sometimes get a little bit more mouthy, I guess, at other teachers. I come from a place of respect. I come from a place of understanding. I'm gonna try to talk with the kids, but I also let them know today's not the day. Today's not the day. If you don't have your homework, why are you here? Call your parents, tell them to come get you, because you're wasting my time, and you can't afford my time to waste. So, when the kids come in with assignments that's not their best work, I give it back to them. You didn't take your time to do it. I'm not going to take the time to read it. We brought back, Mr. Patrick and I talk about this all the time. We brought back an old thing called shame. So, if you've not done your homework and everybody else has, you should feel some sort of way about that. You should be embarrassed. You should feel like, especially when there's no reason. Because I tell the kids, you have until 9 o'clock the night before an assignment is due to call me, text me, email me, and we can discuss and figure out how to get your work done and on time. If you have questions, your printer's not working, you left your book at your grandma's, whatever it may be. Anything after 9 o'clock p.m. the night before is no longer my problem. It's yours and your parents. So whatever excuse you're going to show up at my door with, trying to tell me, well, this, that, and the other, I don't care. You can call your parents and tell them, because I carried up until 9 o'clock the night before. And then just showing up with them and just being consistent, not playing favorites, allowing kids to express themselves. I tell my kids all the time, please ask me while we're reading something, while we're studying something, why are we doing a project this way? Because I spend a lot of time researching and developing things that I think are going to really help them learn the material, or help them learn how to learn the material. And so I love it when they ask me questions, because then they understand what I'm trying to get them to see or understand. And then I get the feedback too, what we could be doing better, what we could be doing differently. So I think that helps as well too.
Yeah. I mean, it's about, we need to be realistic and stop playing around. Because I've been saying it as long as I've been an adult, and I've really had the understanding of what was happening. Like, we're really failing our children. Damn, like, am I? And sometimes I be asking, and I know I'm not the only one, but I ask myself, am I the only one who give a damn that we're failing our children? Like, we're actively, consistently failing our children and making excuses for it, and then wondering why. Like now they calling the young men YNs. Well, how do you think YNs exist? How do you think YNs happen if YNs come from ONs?
We
I'm
had
just
a
saying.
whole we did a whole entire unit that ended up with a debate on using the N word. I you could okay. So I asked the kids, what is something that someone could say to you that you would deem not to be acceptable? And the kids were like, nothing. There's nothing that anyone could say to them that they wouldn't be okay with. I'm almost 53 years old. I could not, I can't understand that. I can't understand that.
Right.
Letting other people other than ourselves use the N word, the hard R. What? And you're letting people call you that? Well, he's my friend. No, no, he's not. Um,
Yeah.
we have failed. And then it's funny to me though, because the same parents who can't show up to parent teacher meetings, who can't show up with the kids' school supplies, show up to the football game, the ball games, the baseball games with the cleats, the jerseys, the balls, everything that they need. They can show up to that, but to practice, but they can't show up
Right.
to things like school,
Well, I
So
mean, we're in the culture to where if little Glocktavius come home from prison, he is celebrated more than young Sean who graduated top of his class.
oh,
And it's all
absolutely.
and it's like, oh, you acting white because you smart. So white people the only people that can be intelligent. And these
My
kids be
kids are
lying.
always, yeah,
Go ahead.
my kids are always shocked. We don't do the Socratic seminar technique. We do the Timbuktu table. It's the same thing, but we're just going to name it what it should have been because Socrates got it from Timbuktu. So that's what we call it. It's little things like that kids they're like, wait, what? That I'm hoping as we educate them and as they start to learn more about what the world tells them, and they're like, wait a minute, I'm not going to take everything that they're telling me, because as you
Yeah.
know, right now they're actively trying to rewrite and erase our history. The kids are starting to ask questions that they need to ask. They're
Yes.
starting to demand some answers,
Good.
and
Good.
that's when I know we're doing what we're supposed to be doing right.
Good. No, I mean, because we have to be on the front line of fighting back. And also education is not just about the, like you said, the sitting down and the stuff you get from the books or the tests and all those things. Like, you're helping to develop a whole human being, and not just an academic aspect, but in a psychological way, a social way, an emotional way, even physically. Like, they're in a physical environment. So all of these things really, really matter. And all of the components that make up the school system, it's a system. So all of those components that make up that system have to be intact. And what we are witnessing is the failure of the overall school system, but the failure of the so-called Black community and our children. But that's why we highlight you and what you do, because you're a bright spot in that fog. You are a light in that dark tunnel, because you are helping to develop competent, successful adults. So thank you for what you do on a regular basis.
Thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time to let us tell us about our school and show that we do have alternatives to Dr. Umar's vision. That there are people out there that really are putting in the work and really are serving our community, and we're not just talking about what we're going to do, we're actually doing it. So I really thank you.
No, I thank you for everything that you're doing. Shout out to you, Patrick, Christopher, all of the people who are part of the Footprints Learning and Leadership Academy. The website, you see the website on the screen, homeschoolingfootprints.com. Go check it out right now. Like right now, go check it out. Make sure you support. Nemesis said, go ahead and start you a GoFundMe to go ahead and get that land. Go ahead and do it. Might as well do it. Right? Because you're actually doing some things, right? And so please spread the word. Tell everybody, if you are in the Charlotte area and you want to support something that's actually happening, or you don't even have to be in the Charlotte area, you just want to support something, homeschoolingfootprints.com. That's the website you need to visit, so you can go ahead and pour into it, because she needs the support, and that's what we're supposed to be doing.
And I do want to say we take all kind of support, and that just means showing if you're a mechanic and you know how to uh, provide lessons on how to work engines and oil changes and things like that. We want you. If you're a graphic designer and you could come talk to our kids about doing graphic design, interior decorate, like whatever. Our kids have various interests, and so anyone and everyone who wants to come pour into our kids, we welcome you. We welcome that. We really, really need it. Our kids really need it. They need to see that there are adults in their lives that do care and do want them to be successful, and it's not just talk. So
I need to get up though. Like we need to get so I got a lot more flexibility in my schedule now. I'm on I've been blessed. So I've been blessed with the different work situations. So I got a lot more flexibility in my schedule. So I definitely need to come up there because I got some Black history and some safe sex information that I need to get to these kids.
And they need it.
Yeah,
they need it.
We're gonna have some good fun. PC, man, I appreciate you, man. God is Yimmy, y'all. Amina, everybody, Nemesis X, I appreciate y'all. So any final thoughts, any closing thoughts that you want to give to the people to make sure that they can understand what you're saying or even to support you?
Everyone can do what we're doing. Everyone can do what we're doing. Find a group of people who want our kids to know more than what the government wants our kids to know. And then just start teaching. They're Native Indians, Chinese, everybody else has their own, Saturday school where they teach their kids their culture. We are the only group that does not do it. And I do not understand why. We need to start there. If you can whole day or a whole week, just do a Saturday a month. Grab a group of kids and just say, you know what, we're going to learn this today.
It ain't hard. And I tell people that all the time. If you are somebody within your community and you want to do something and you don't know where to start with what you do. What do you do? What can you do? Can you sew? Teach some kids how to sew. Can you cut grass? Teach kids how to cut grass. I mean, it's not rocket science. Like I said, it's not like teach them how to cut hair. Like that's a skill set that you can learn that you can use right now to make up money. So like let's do it. That makes me go harder doing my part. Yes. Yay. I mean, me too, man. Me too. Like what you all got going on, I'm trying to make sure that I can build something similar here in Tallahassee. And so it's definitely
we need to collaborate. We need to get together.
We definitely got to do it. Because I want to make sure that my kids can benefit from what you got going on as well. Now I thank you all. I'm nothing without my audience. I'm nothing without the people who support me. This channel didn't grow by itself. This channel grew with you all and people like you all. So thank you all, my people. Miss Kristen, thank you.
Thank you.
Footprints.com. That's where y'all go to check it out. That's how we do what we do. I want you to, so you're not nervous no more. You're not nervous no more. I just want to say that you're not nervous no more. Good. But I'm gonna put you backstage, hang out for a minute because I wanted to I'm gonna close this out, and then we're gonna close it out on the end. But I appreciate you, and I'm put you backstage and hang out for a minute while I close this out. All right, see you later. Miss Kristen in the building. Homeschooling footprints.com. Make sure you check it out. So Amina, I appreciate you as always. I appreciate you coming in the building. God is in me, y'all. Definitely appreciate you as well. Nemesis X, you already know what it is. Appreciate you. Professor Carlton Jones, thank you for stopping through. Patrick, thank you for stopping through. Cyriel, thank you for stopping through. Thank you for commenting. Who else? Mr. Misinformed Emotion. Make sure you check out the website, Misinformed Emotion. They can definitely use your help. Okira, I'm gonna put this comment. Yeah, Okira. That's right, Okira. Robbie, thank you for everybody tuning in to this Saturday live on the Shows with Giants. Hey man, I had to, look, I'm dropping the mixtape real soon. It's called rapping and singing after 40. I'm dropping my mixtape real soon. Check your local Circle K, because I just signed a deal with all the Circle Ks in the United States. So your local Circle K will be promoting my new mixtape, singing and rapping after 40. So check it out. It's coming out real soon. I got 17 songs, and my lead single is Yeah. Sound just like that. I'm telling you, I'm going gold. I'm going platinum. I'm #1 on the Billboard. I appreciate y'all. We are in this together. I appreciate y'all. And y'all make sure to check me out. The next BET Awards. I guarantee you I'm gonna be at the next BET Awards, and it's gonna be at the park. They probably gonna have the BET Awards at the Circle K. The way the BET Awards going, they probably gonna be at the Circle K too, right along with me. So don't mind the other people out there that's standing next to me at the Circle K that just hanging out. Remember, they just hang out there all the time. I'm there doing business, so you come support me. That's how we do it. OnTheShoulders1.com is the website. Make sure you check it out. Make sure you support FetLifeStation.com. Professor Carl Tone Jones. Make sure you check him out. ThePACS.org. Make sure you check out and support Pat. And once again, HomeschoolingFootprints.com. Y'all enjoy y'all Saturday. And remember, my mixtape is coming soon. I love y'all. Catch the next video coming up.